إنا أنزلناه قرآنا عربيا لعلكم تعقلون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How are you all, dear students? Alhamdulillah, hope you all are doing good. Inshallah, let's begin the class with dua. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي زدني علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين آمين يا رب العالمين. Today is your class 3 of Madinah book course. In this class, we'll be doing lesson number 3 in your Madinah book 2. So let's begin the lesson. Ad-Darsu Salis, lesson 3. And this lesson is divided into 3 parts. So we'll begin with the first part. All right. So what do we have here? Man ha'ula'il fityatu tiwalu ya aliyu. So here you have a dhamma here, aliyu. Okay. Man, let's read it together. Man ha'ula'il fityatu tiwalu ya aliyu. What is the meaning of man? Who? Who are these? Okay, here you have this word ha'ulai here. We'll see this in a minute. Who are these? Al-fityatu, another new word. Okay, lots of new words coming up your way. Al-fityatu is young boys. Okay, Al-fityatu is young boys, which is the plural of what is a singular of this young boy? You have learned this last lesson. Al-fata. Okay, Al-fata is the singular of Al-fityatu. And what is the singular form of young girl? How will you say a young girl, which you have learned already? Al-fatatu. Okay, it is Al-fatatu, is young girl. So here we have, who are these young boys? At-tiwalu. Here another new word. You have another new word here. At-tiwalu is tall. This is the plural of tawilun. All right, this is the plural of tawilun, which means tall, and tiwalun is the plural of tawilun. Ya aliyu. So let's begin with this first new word which you have here, which is ha'ulai. Okay, so does it sound similar? You would have read this word so many times in the Quran. So let's see what it is actually. If you see a ismul ishara, what have we learned so far? Haza, that you have seen that there are two types of ismul ishara. One is ismul ishara lil qarib, and one is ismul ishara lil ba'id. So this haza and hazihi. So what does this refer to? Is this ismul ishara qarib or ismul ishara ba'id? Ismul ishara qarib. Very good. These are the ismul ishara pointing nouns used to point at nearby objects. And haza is used for masculine and hazihi is used for feminine. Okay. This is for mudhakkar and this is for muannas. So this was your singular. Okay, this was your singular for wahid. Both these were for your wahid. Now what about the jamma? The jamma for haza is haulai. Okay, haulai. And the jamma for hazihi is also haulai. Isn't it easy? Alhamdulillah. So haza and hazihi, for both the plural is haulai. It is the same. So here, what is it referring to? Man haulai il fityatu tiwalu ya aliyu. Who are these young? Who are these tall young boys, O Ali? So haulai here is ismul ishara qarib, which is coming as your jama, the plural. Okay, and this is the plural of haulai. This is referring to the boys. So this is referring to mudhakkar. Okay, because this is referring to the young boys. Now haulai, after haulai, you have this ism which is having al on it. So what is this? Badal. So this is badal al-fityatu. And if you see the at-tiwalu, this is going to be the naat of al-fityatu, who are these tall young boys. Now we have something new here to learn, a new rule to learn. Actually, in fact, you have a new rule which is about plural, about jama. Okay, so let's begin the new rule. It is about adad, which you have already started learning. The adad is divided into three types. You know the names of the three types, that is wahid, tasniya, and jama. Okay. So wahid is singular, tasniya is dual, which is tasniya refers to only two objects or two people. Jama refers to three or more, three objects or three people, three or more. Okay, so that is jama. So in this lesson, in lesson 3 of your Madinah book 2, you're going to learn, this lesson is mainly focused on the jama. Okay, so what do we have in this topic? First, we are going to look at the different types of plurals, that is aqsamul jam. Aqsam is the plural of qismun. Qism means types or categories or kinds. So what are the different types of plural that you have in Arabic? Al-jam'u salim, al-jam'ul mukassar, jama salim, and jama mukassar. So jama means plural. Salim, what do you mean by salim? Sound plural. Okay. And what do you mean by jama mukassar? Mukassar in Arabic means broken. Okay. Mukassar means broken. Now, before we proceed further, I would like to bring to your notice that this is not something new that you're learning. You already know this because we all have learned English grammar. So we are going to be using English grammar as a tool. As I've always told you, until you get familiarized with all the grammatical rules of Arabic language, we'll be using English as a tool to understand our uh, grammatical rules in Arabic. Okay. So in English, if you see, you have the same two types of plurals. What are they? Sound plural and, let me write it here, sound plural and broken plural. Even in English, you have the same type of plural. For example, if I ask you what's the plural of bat, what's the plural of bat? You'll say bats. What's the plural of cat? You'll say cats. Yes. If I ask you what's the plural of boy, you'll say boys. Okay. So here you can see that the word bat, cat, and boy, it has the same type of plural. How did you turn this? This is the singular word, the bat, cat, and boy. These are the singular words. How did you turn them into plural? By just adding s. Okay. Now let me ask you something else. Suppose I give you the word box. What is the plural of box? You'll say boxes. Yes. What did you add here to turn this word box into plural? You added es. Okay. Now, if I give you the word leaf, okay, how do you turn into plural? Leaves. How did you turn into plural? You removed this f. We all learned this rule, right? You removed your f and then added es. In fact, you added ves. Okay. All right. If you don't remember the rules which we learned in our primary classes, it's all right. We are not learning English grammar here. It is just to relate that this is not something new. Coming back to our lesson. So if you see this part which you saw, okay. So here, this part is called Jama Salim. So what can you notice here? That the singular word, why is it called Jama Salim? That the singular word, okay, the sequence of the singular word, what is a singular word made up of? B, A, T. Isn't it the sequence of the letters? What is the first letter here? B. What is the second letter in your singular word? A. What is the third letter? T. Okay. Now, when you come to your plural, okay, what is the sequence of the letters? Is the first letter B in your plural also? Yes. Singular, the first letter was B. The first letter in plural is also B. The second letter in your singular is A. Here also it's A. Then you have T. Here also you have T. So isn't that the singular word is intact in your plural? Yes. Yes, we are adding S at the end of it, but the singular word is intact and safe in your plural. There are no changes, there are no addition in it, and there are no deletion. Addition is at the end, but I'm saying between the letters, is there any letter here like B, A, T, T or something? it's not like that. So this is called sound plural. So what is the word sound plural? When your singular word, when the sequence of the letters of your singular word is safe or intact in your plural, then that is called sound plural. Okay. Now, when you see this word leaf, how many letters are here in this word L-E-A-F? Okay. So the singular word, let's compare whether the singular and plural, the sequence of the singular word, is it safe in the plural? Let's see. Is it a sound plural? The first letter in your singular word is L. Here, okay, fine. Here also we have L. The second word in your singular word is E. Here also you have E. Then you have A. Then you have A. But here you have F. Do you have an F here? No. Okay, so what does this become? This plural is called broken plural. The sequence is broken here, correct? Why? Because a letter is omitted or removed from here. So this is called broken plural. That's it. So you know these things already. You're going to apply your knowledge here. That's it. Okay, coming back to your notes. So what is the definition? If I ask you what's the definition of Jama Salim, then you'll say if the sequence of the singular word is intact or safe in the plural, then it's called sound plural. And if the sequence of the letters of the singular word are not safe or intact in your plural, then they are called broken plurals. That is Jama Mukassar. We'll see the definitions in detail. They are coming ahead in your notes. Before that, if you notice here, there are two more arrows going here. That is, you have this aqil and ghair aqil. The words can be aqil and ghair aqil. You have learned this in your lesson 1. I hope it is lesson 1 or lesson 2, wherein you learned that the aqil are what? The intelligent beings, which are categorized as 3. What are they? What are the aqil, rational thing? What are the rational things in Arabic language? Humans, angels, and jinn. Apart from these 3 categories, all others are considered to be ghair aqil, isn't it? So when it comes to the plurals, they can be aqil or ghair aqil, correct? And they can be muzakkar or muannas. All these things you will automatically know when you put in the words into a sentence. You already know whether they are aqil or ghair aqil. Is this word muannas or muzakkar or muannas? You'll know it automatically. So let's proceed with the notes. In all other languages, there is singular for one object and plural for more than one object. Arabic language is unique compared to other languages, of course, alhamdulillah, isn't it? And we realize the specialities of it. A special term is used for quantity of 2 objects. So in Arabic, you have a special term which is used to refer only to 2 objects. Okay, what is that? Tasniya, correct? So which is not seen in any other language. In Arabic language, when ism is used as adad, then for the quantity of 1, we call wahid. The term used for the quantity of 1 is wahid. And for 2 things, what do we refer? Tasniya. Okay, it's called tasniya. And for more than 3, we call it jam. So you can see this very beautifully represented pictorially here. Okay, you have pictorial representation here, which is the one person is called wahid. If there are 2, you call tasniya. And if there are more than 2, that is 3 or more, it is jama. All right, this is very simple. Now, here comes your definition. We just that which I explained you some time back, it's just the same. Let's read it. Let's read the definition. The sound plural, okay, the sound plural, that is jama muzakkar salim, is one in which the sequence of the letters, okay, the letter sequence or the sequence of the letter of the singular word, we are talking about singular word, does not change. Okay, the letter sequence of the singular word does not change in your when this singular word changes into plural. When this changes into plural, the sequence of the letters of the singular word does not change in your plural. Then it means that the singular remains intact in its original form with some addition at the end. Okay, so this is what is the definition of jama salim. Okay, jama salim. Now, when it comes to Jama Salim, okay, you understood what is the definition of Jama Salim. Sound plural. Jama Salim means sound plural. Now, here you have two categories. One is Jama Muzakkar Salim, okay, Jama Muzakkar Salim, and Jama Muannas Salim. Yes, that is Jama Salim means sound plural. But what is the meaning of Jama Muzakkar Salim? Jama means plural, Muzakkar means masculine, Salim means sound. So sound masculine plural. The sound plural is divided into two categories: sound masculine plural and sound feminine plural. How do you say that in Arabic? Jama Muzakkar Salim and Jama Muannas Salim. Okay, so now you're going to see how to make the Jama. When you take a noun which is muzakkar, for example, if your singular word is muslimun, let's take this example. So if your singular word is muslimun, is this muzakkar or muannas? Your singular is muzakkar. Okay, so how do you turn into plural? How do you change this into plural? If your singular word is muzakkar, then when you're changing into Jama Muzakkar Salim, when you're changing into Jama, the formula is to add waw noon at the end. Okay, take the singular word and add waw and noon at the end. So Muslimun plus waw noon will give you what? Muslimun. Okay, when you're adding the waw noon at the end, the tanween will not remain there, correct? Because when it is where will the tanween come? Tanween will always come at the end of a word. And here, when you add waw noon, this meme is not the last letter anymore. Yes, it is coming somewhere in the middle. So here you will have only one dhamma before waw. So what is the formula for making Jama Muzakkar Salim? Take the singular word and just add una to it. Una, what I mean by una is waw noon. That's what is written here. To make Jama Muzakkar Salim, add waw and noon maftuha. Okay, in the end of the word, just add waw and noon maftuha. Maftuha means with a fatha. The noon with a fatha. Okay, maftuha means noon with a fatha. Because there's a noon with it can be noon with a kasra or a noon with a dhamma. You should know what type of noon. Yes, add waw and noon. The noon has a fatha on it. So muslimun plus una gives muslimuna. Okay, what is the meaning of muslimuna? Muslims, Muslim men. In fact, it is Muslim men. Yes, because this is muzakkar, Jama Muzakkar Salim. This is Jama Muzakkar Salim. Why is Jama Muzakkar Salim called Salim? Let's ponder over this question. In the example given above, when the Jama Muslimuna was made from the Wahid Muslimun, no letter was dropped and no letter was added to the Wahid. The Wahid remains in its original form. This is why this Jama is called Salim. Again, basically, the same thing has been repeated in terms of the definition so that you understand what is Salim. Okay, when you say sound plural, you should understand what is the meaning of sound plural. Okay, that's what has been explained here. Let's see it in terms of the word, like Muslimun. The plural is what? You know how to make it, so I'm just writing it directly, Muslimun. Okay, let's check whether it is sound plural. How will you check? When the singular word, what is the sequence of letter sequence of the singular word? Meme. Okay, this is one. According to the position of the letters, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 letters. In the first position, you have meme. Here also in the first position, you have meme. In the second position, you have here in the singular word, you have seen. Here also you have seen. In the third position, you have lam. Here also you have lam. In the fourth position, you have meme. Here also in the fourth position, you have meme. So your singular word, okay, the sequence of letters is what? First the meme is coming, then seen, then lam, then meme. This sequence of letters, isn't it the same here? Meme, seen, lam, meme. The sequence of the singular word is the same in your plural. Isn't it the same? At the end, something has been added, but the singular word is intact. The letter sequence of your singular word is intact. It is safe. It does not change in your plural. Then this plural is called Jama Salim. I hope that is clear. Next, note. Remember that to make Jama Salim, before we add the alif and noon fatha, we remove the tanween at the end and replace it with a dhamma. This is because in Arabic rules of compatibility, dhamma comes before the waw. Okay, this rule is very clear because we check when you compare the compatibility of letters, alif is compatible with what? Fatha. Waw is compatible with what? Dhamma. Ya is compatible with what? Kasra, isn't it? So this is your basic tajweed rule, if you remember, the compatibility rule. So that's what has been explained here. Why do you remove the tanween from the meme in your plural? Because when you're adding waw noon, only the waw is compatible with a dhamma before it. So that's why you have one dhamma on meme. Also, if you see the example here, the wahid muzakkar they have given, how do you change this into plural? The word is wahid muzakkar, the word is mudarrisun. Mudarrisun is a male teacher, muzakkar. If you have to change this into plural, how will you do this? This is muzakkar. So if you have to make jama muzakkar salim, then add una. Okay, add waw noon fatha at the end. So mudarrisuna. Okay, whenever you hear the word ending with una sound, like mudarrisuna, muslimuna, okay, munafiquna, kafiruna, all these are what? Jama muzakkar salim. Jama muzakkar salim. So what did you do? How to turn a singular word into plural if of a and when it is masculine, remember that muzakkar, add una. Okay, so take the singular word first. How will you explain? Take the singular word and add una at the end. Add waw noon at the end, and the noon should have a fatha on it. Next, what we saw just now was how to turn a singular word, masculine singular word, into masculine plural. Okay. Now we are going to see if your singular word is feminine. If your singular word is feminine, how will you change it into plural? Feminine singular word, you're going to change it into feminine plural. How do you do that? Take the singular word. Okay. Take the singular word and add atun to it. Okay. Add atun. Okay. So before here, there are two steps. In fact, what is a singular word? Here you have the singular word muallimatun. Muallimatun. Okay. Muallimatun is a female teacher. Okay. So step number 1 in this is to remove this ta marbuta. Okay. Before you add atun to the singular word, you will remove this ta marbuta and then add atun. Why? Because when this ta marbuta in Arabic language, if you see, you cannot add any extra words after it. You just have to remove this ta marbuta and add this atun. Okay, so this is a two-step process when it comes to Jama Muzakkar. To make a singular word into Jama Muzakkar, it was just take the singular word and add una, waw noon at the end. But when it comes to feminine, you have two steps. What is that? Take the singular word, chop the ta marbuta at the end, and then add atun. Alif and ta maftuha, the open ta. Okay, remember it is the open ta. In atun, you have open ta. So muallimatun, you removed the ta marbuta, you are left with muallim. Okay. Now you add atun to it, it became muallimatun. Muallimatun. See, when you add atun, what should come before alif? Alif is compatible with the fatha. So the word before alif will have a fatha here. Muallimatun. Okay, muallimatun. So now you know how to turn a feminine singular word into feminine plural. So this is the muallimatun is the jama salim, jama muannas salim. Okay. Now you might ask, okay, here the sequence, if you see the sequence is broken, the ta is removed and then atun is added. But this ta marbuta in the first place, it was there as a sign of feminine, isn't it? And here this atun is again showing you it's a sign of feminine. You don't have to have two signs of feminine. Yes. So it's not breaking the rule of Jama Salim. Okay. So it is the same. That is the sequence of singular word is the same. Meme, meme, ain, then you have ain, then lam, lam, then again meme and meme. Yes, this ta marbuta is a sign of feminine. Instead of this, you have atun here. That's it. So again, you have the singular word, the sequence of the letters of the singular word is intact in your plural. So again, this plural will be called Jama Muannas Salim. Jama Muannas Salim. Because there are two types of plural. Remember, Jama Salim and Jama Mukassar. So let's see here. The point to remember here is if there is a ta marbuta in the end of the wahid of the singular word, then it has to be removed before adding alif and long ta to make the jama muannas salim. This is because another letter cannot be joined after ta marbuta. This is the rule that we already discussed just now. Okay. Right. Here you have one more example. Mudarrisatun. Okay. Mudarrisatun. A teacher, a female teacher. Okay. Actually, the male, if you want to say a male teacher, it would be mudarrisun. When you add a ta marbuta to the mudarrisun word, then it becomes female teacher. Okay. Mudarrisatun. Okay. Now that you have the singular word, your singular word is muannas, feminine. Okay. Then you have to make it feminine plural. Okay. If you have feminine singular, you will be making feminine plural. What's the formula? How will you make this singular word into plural? Take the singular word. Always remember, use these words. Take the singular word and add. What should we add for feminine to make a feminine plural? Atun. Okay. Add atun. So, but this is just one step that I did. What should I do before this? Before adding atun, there was one more step, right? So what should you do in the first place? Take the singular word, remove the ta marbuta, and then add atun. Okay, let's do it once again. How do you change? How do you convert the singular feminine word into feminine plural? Take the singular word, remove the ta marbuta, and add atun. Okay, so it became mudarrisatun. Before alif, there should be a fatha. Okay, so mudarrisatun. Here you have it. In from mudarrisatun, the ta marbuta has been removed here, and then you added atun. Okay, so this is how you make the jama muzakkar salim and jama muannas salim. Now coming to the broken plural. So what is it called? Jama mukassar or jama taksir. You can remember any word, any one word, mukassar or taksir, both mean broken plural. Okay. In your book, in your notes, mostly mukassar has been used. If you remember one, it's more than enough. If you just remember jama mukassar means broken. What do you mean by broken? We have learned this already. Why is this plural called broken? Because the sequence of the letters of the singular word is not intact or safe in the plural. Okay. Suppose I take the word rajulun. Okay. If I take the word rajulun. Okay. And now I change it into plural. I know the plural of this. I'm just writing here. For example, rijalun. Okay. See if the sequence of the letters of this is the sequence of the letters of the singular word is the same in the plural. Let's check. The first letter in your singular word is ra. Here also you have ra. Leave the harakas, okay? Just look at the sequence of the letters. First you have ra here. Here also you have ra. Then you have jeem. Yes, of course you have jeem here. Then you have lam here. But here you have an alif. Instead of lam, you have alif. The sequence is broken, correct? Whether you add a letter or delete a letter, I mean, the sequence is broken, okay? So here so then when the sequence of the letters of the singular word is not intact, or if the sequence of the letters of the singular word changes in your plural, okay? The sequence has changed, isn't it? It is not the same as the singular. In that case, this plural will be called broken plural. Okay, when the sequence of the letters of the singular word is broken in your plural, then that is called broken plural. That is what the given here in your definition. The Jama Mukassar means the plural in which the sequence of letters of the singular word does not remain the same in the plural. The singular word breaks, that is, it does not remain in its original form in the plural. Okay. What else do you have here? In the broken plural, sometimes one or two letters are added, or sometimes a letter is dropped. So in this case, if you see here Rijalun, here a letter has been added here, correct? If you see the sequence of the singular word when it is broken in your plural, how will you say it is broken? Because a letter has been added. Okay, so that's what they are saying. It could be one letter or two letters can be added, or a letter can be deleted. For example, if you see the word kitabun, the plural of kitabun is kutubun. The plural is kutubun. Let's check the sequence. Is this kutubun is the plural, but is it broken plural or sound plural? We'll know by the sequence. If the sequence of the singular word is intact in your plural, then that will be Jama Salim. If the sequence of letters of your singular word is not intact, if it is changed, if the sequence of letters of the singular word is changed in the plural, then it will be broken plural. Let's see. Kaf, the first letter of your singular word is kaf. Here in the plural also you have kaf. Then second is ta. Here you have the ta also. But the third letter is alif here. Third letter is alif. Do you have an alif in the plural? No. Okay, the sequence is broken then. Okay, immediately when you see a letter is added or deleted from the sequence of the letters of your singular word, then that plural will be called what? Broken plural, isn't it? So that's how you get the name sound plural and broken plural. So that is that the same thing has been explained here, if you see. Okay, next you have an exception here. Before you look at exception, there's one more point here. There is not a single rule for making Jama Mukassar. Okay, why? Because in your Jama Salim, if your singular word is Muzakkar, then you have a formula to make a Muzakkar plural. Yes, when you have to make Jama Muzakkar, you have a formula there in Jama Muzakkar Salim. Add una to the word. Take the singular word, add una. And when you had to make Jama Muannas Salim, you also had a formula there, that is add atun to the singular word. But when you come to Jama Mukassar, there is no particular formula to it. You cannot put it on the basis of a formula. There are many patterns for the Jama Mukassar. There are different scales. Okay, there are different scales for the Jama Mukassar, and some scales are used most. Okay, there are more than 20 patterns or scales of Jama Mukassar, and some of them are used very commonly. Okay, we will be looking at some of the scales or patterns of Jama Mukassar, and I will explain you what do you mean by these different scales of different scales or patterns. I will explain you in a minute. So before that, let's look at the exception. Some nouns have two plurals. Okay, for example, you might be thinking that if you take the word book, then the plural was books. Yes, if you take in Arabic, if you take the word kitabun, the plural is kutubun. Okay, there's only one plural. If you took the word muslimun, then you made you what was the plural that you made? Muslimuna. From muslimun you got muslimuna. Okay, fine. So here you had only one plural for the singular word. But sometimes, okay, but sometimes one word, like if you take the word an-nabiyyu, okay, the prophet, nabi, the prophet, this word has both type of plural. That is, it has Jama Salim, Jama Muzakkar Salim, that is an-nabiyyuna. This word nabiyyuna is what? Jama Muzakkar Salim of this word an-nabiyyu. Okay, and it also has the Jama Mukassar plural also, al-anbiya'u, anbiya'u, isn't it? You have a chapter, a surah by the name Anbiya. Yes. So here you can see that sometimes in Arabic language, the singular word can have both type of plurals. That is, it can have the Jama a salim plural, and it can have jama mukassar plural also. Two plurals at the same time. You can use anyone. Both means the same. Prophets. An-nabiyuna is also prophets. Al-anbiya is also prophets. Okay. So this is one exception that you have to remember. For example, it has been used in the Quran. If you see here, an-nabiyuna. Okay. وَمَا أُوتِيَ مُوسَى وَعِيسَى وَالنَّبِيُّونَ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ. Okay, so here you have an-nabiyuna, the prophets. Okay, and then you have kanu yakfuruna bi ayatillahi wa yaqtuluna al-anbiya. So here you have anbiya, which is an-nabiyuna is the jama muzakkar salim. This is the jama muzakkar salim of the word nabi. Yes, this is the sound plural of the word nabi. And al-anbiya, this is also the plural of nabi, but this is broken plural. That is jama mukassar of the word nabi. Yes, both are correct. Both are correct, but we cannot change the words of the Quran. So in this ayah, you will use an-nabiyuna, and in this place, you'll use anbiya. But generally speaking, okay, generally speaking, you for the word nabi, you have two plurals. It's enough for you to remember, and both mean the same. It's just the pattern. From the pattern, you have to understand whether it is broken plural or sound plural. Here you have some more examples for your jama mukassar. Let's look at the examples. Najmun, a star. What is the plural? Nujumun. Okay. So here you have been given the pattern also. How will you know the patterns? Let's do a quick revision of that. Okay. Let's look at what is the patterns. So in Arabic language, as you have learned the fail madi, I hope you have seen, you have come across the word pattern there. Okay, pattern or scale, you can call it pattern or scale. Okay. The Arabic language is very systematic. Like, it's not that the words are made out of nowhere. You just take the letters and form any word as you like. It's not like that. You have scales or patterns on which words are made. Okay, so which you would have surely seen in your fail. You have done fail madi, so I assume that you have already come across the scale or what is the scale of or a pattern. So in Arabic language, they came across the words and they took these three words like fa, ain, and lam as a basic pattern. Okay, so they took these three letters, fa, ain, and lam, and and whatever pattern they have to make, they use these three letters as the base form. Okay, so this will be the base form. So if you made the word, okay, if you made the word, if you say fa'ala, okay, so this is made from this, isn't it? So if you take the word kataba, if you take the word kataba, which is the fail, this kaf represents what? The fa kalima. Ain represents what? Sorry, the ta represents what? The ain kalima. Okay, and the ba represents what? The lam kalima. So this is the kataba. This is the root word, which is based on the form. What is the actual base form? Fa'ala. Okay, so this is based on the pattern fa'ala. So this is in verbs, fa'ala, fa'ila, fa'ula. But when it comes to nouns, also you have patterns. Okay, even the nouns have patterns. So that is what you have begun to learn now. The first patterns of nouns that you are learning here is what? About the jama mukassar, about the broken plurals. You're looking at the patterns or scale of broken plural. Yes, of broken plural. Now I'll give you a word. For example, you take the word nujumun. Okay, let's take the word. In this case, the root word of nujumun is noon, jim, and mim are the root words. These are the root words which are placed in the base form. What is the base form? So noon has been placed it is in the place of fa. It is the fa kalima, and jim is the ain kalima, and mim is the lam kalima. Okay, so if you have put noon in the place of fa kalima, jim in the place of ain kalima, mim in the place of lam kalima, If you replace this noon, jim, and meme with fa, ain, and lam here, what will you get? What will you get? Fu'ulun, isn't it? If you replace this noon, jim, and meme with the base form, which is actually fa kalima, ain kalima, and lam kalima, what will you get? Fu'ulun, isn't it? Okay. Now let me give you another word. Let's see how you have understood it. Okay. If I give you the word kutubun, what are the root letters? Kaf, ta, and ba. So kaf is in the place of fa kalima, ta is in the place of ain kalima, ba is in the place of lam kalima. So if I replace these three letters here with these three letters here with these letters, okay, with these letters, fa, ain, and lam, what will you get? Fu'ulun. Fu'ulun. Yes. So that is how you get the different patterns. If you look at the word tajirun, okay, the plural is tujjarun. Tujjarun, which is on the pattern of fu'alun. Tujjarun, fu'alun. Qalamun, the plural is aqlamun. Aqlamun. And this is on the pattern of af'alun. Af'alun. Okay. So there are different patterns which will get used to it, inshallah, as we go on. So let's revise quickly. What have we learned in the lesson? That the ism, among the four properties of ism is what? Adad. Yes, adad is one of the properties of ism, the number. The number is divided into three categories: wahid, tasniya, and jama. Here we have looked in this lesson. We are mainly focused on the topic of jama. Okay, so here they have given you wahid and how you turn the wahid into jama. The examples of wahid are what? Muslimun, muslimatun, alimun, alimatun, sadiqun, sadiqatun. Okay, sayyaratun, baytun. Okay, masjidun. And what else do you have? Darun and darsun. Okay, one more point if you see here. Okay, Muslimun, muslimatun, alimun, alimatun, sadiqun, sadiqatun. Okay, sayyaratun, but there's no sayyarun. Okay, and baitun, there's no baitatun or kitabun, kitabatun. Right. Why don't we have, why is it not written like this? Okay, let's take a look at that point. So these words, okay, these words are called ism sifa. It represents a kind of attribute or a quality, isn't it? Muslimun, being a Muslim, it refers to a quality of a person, that if he's a Muslim, you can refer to a person as a Muslim. It's when he submits his will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's a quality. Yes, alimun is a ism sifa, it's a quality. Being knowledgeable is a quality. Sadiqun, being truthful, is a quality, isn't it? So it is ism sifa. So the ism sifa will have, if it is masculine, you can make it into feminine. Muslimun, muslimatun. Alimun is an ism sifa, which is muzakkar. Ism sifa can be turned into muannas by adding ta marbuta. Sadiqun is ism sifa. Okay, so you can turn it into muannas by adding ta marbuta. But when it comes to sayyaratun, baitun, kitabun, all these nouns, these are not ism sifat. These are called ism zat. Okay, these are called ism zat. This topic you have learned in your lesson 3. This topic you have learned in your lesson 3, wherein you have learned the definitions of ism zat and ism sifa. To quickly remind you, ism zat is a noun which describes the name of a person, place, or animal thing, and it is a word used for the name of an object or a person that brings to mind an image of that person. Okay, so when you say a word in Arabic, and if you can picturize it in your mind, like If you say the earth, then when it comes to your mind, you can picturize the earth in your mind. So that is what ism zat. Yes, Kaaba. And an image comes to your mind, right? Hajar, stone, masjid, bait. Okay, these are called ism zat. When an image or you get comes to your mind when you say the word, it is ism zat. But when it comes to ism sifa, it is a noun which describes a quality or an attribute. And this word is an attribute of a noun such as sweet, red, beautiful. All these words are what? Attributes. You cannot picturize sweet. You cannot, I mean, uh, you can only, you don't have any particular picture coming to your mind. You can, it's a quality. Okay. So the quality is called what? Ism sifa. Right? So for example, if I say ghafurun, jamilun, okay, sahlun, abidun, jadidun. Yes, ghafurun, you cannot picturize, forgiving is an attribute, it's a quality. You cannot picturize something in your mind. Jamilun, all these are what? Ism sifa. I hope you remember this. It was just a revision. I hope you remember. Okay, so when it comes to ism zat, these nouns are ism zat. When it comes to ism zat, they will either be masculine or feminine. That's it. You cannot change it into masculine. If it is a masculine word, turn it into feminine. You cannot change that. The ism zat, the word which is ism zat, will either be masculine or feminine. That's it. Okay, like if you say a car in English, okay, you don't have a masculine car and a feminine car. Okay, car are cars. Okay, and if you say a pen, you don't have a masculine pen and a feminine pen. You just say it, a pen. Okay, so similarly in Arabic, for sayyaratun, baitun, kitabun, when you say, remember the word ism, first try to analyze whether a noun is ism zat or ism sifa. Okay, if it is ism zat, then it will either be masculine or feminine. That's it. Sayyaratun, the car, is considered to be feminine in Arabic. That's it. You don't have masculine cars. Okay, so this is sayyaratun is considered to be muannas in Arabic. That's it. Baitun is muzakkar in Arabic. That's it. You cannot make it feminine. Kitabun is muzakkar. That's it. You cannot make it feminine. Okay. So the words which are the nouns which are ism zat, okay, they will either be masculine or feminine or masculine. Okay. But when it comes to ism sifa, the words which have a quality in them, then you, when you have for ism sifa, you can change the muzakkar words into muannas by adding ta marbuta at the end. Okay, so muslimun is ism sifa, so you can add ta marbuta to it. Okay, so muslimun, add ta marbuta, then it will become muannas muslimatun. Muslim, Muslim man, muslimatun, Muslim woman. Alimun, scholar, a male scholar. Alimatun, a female scholar. Alimun, how did you turn it into feminine? Because alimun is ism sifa, you can turn it into feminine by adding ta marbuta. So alimun, alimatun. Sadiqun, sadiqatun. So that is the difference between ism zat and ism sifa. All right. That was that was like a whole new topic, but this you have already learned, my dear students. So it's just a recap. Okay, I hope you remember. Next, what did we learn in today's class? We learned about jama, that there are two types of jama salim and jama mukassar. When it comes to jama salim, there are two types of jama salim: jama muzakkar salim and jama muannas salim. Okay, so the examples at the end. Okay, wow, noon, noon maftuha with a fatha. Alimuna, with alimun, you change it into alimuna by adding wow noon at the end. Sadiqun, sadiquna. Similarly, if you take jama muannas salim, then muslimatun, how did you change into feminine? You remove the ta marbuta at the end and turned it into muslimatun. When you read this, please elongate this alif here so that you know that you have added atun here. Okay, don't just read it muslimatun, alimatun, sadiqatun. No, muslimatun, alimatun. sadiqatun, sayyaratun. Okay, so please elongate this so that you know that you have added atun at the end. So the moment you hear the words ending with atun, you have to remember that they are jama muannas salim. Even by sounds, you know, you can recognize the nouns. Yes, like in the house, you can recognize if there are 4 or 5 people at home. You can recognize your brother's voice and your father's voice. They are two different people, so their voice will be distinctive, right? So similarly, in the nouns, you can know the nouns by the sounds, inshallah. So if you hear a word ending with una, okay, like muslimuna, alimuna, sadiquna. So even this, you have to stretch this when you say, okay. So the words which end with una at the end are what? Jama muzakkar salim. And the words that end with atun are jama muannas salim. And I hope you remember the definition of Jama Salim. Why they are called Jama Muzakkar Salim and Jama Muannas Salim? Because the singular word, the letter sequence of the singular word is intact in the plural. So that's why it's called Jama Salim. And Jama Mukassar, what is the meaning of Jama Mukassar, broken plural? When the letter sequence of the singular word is changed in the plural, then it is Jama Mukassar, broken plural. So, and you have different patterns for this. There's no one particular formula here. When it comes to Jama Mukassar, you have different patterns here. Okay. So, ulama'u, asdiqa'u, buyutun, kutubun, masajidu. Okay. This word masajidu, it has only one dhamma. Why? We'll learn it later. But you know this, that some nouns in Arabic will have one haraka. Okay. Why? You will learn later on, inshallah. Like feminine words you have seen, Zainabu, Fatimatu, these nouns end with one haraka. So similarly, masajidu, just read it as masajidu. This is what masjids, mosques, the plural of mosque. Diyarun, houses. Okay. Darun, diyarun is the plural of darun. Durusun is the plural of darsun. Yes. So these are the plurals, a few jama mukassar given for your reference. So these are your notes. Alhamdulillah, let's go back to our lesson and start doing the lesson. So here you have man ha'ula'il fityatu, man ha'ula'il fityatu tiwalu ya aliyu. Now let me see whether you have understood the lesson of plurals. So fityatu, al-fityatu. This is the plural of al-fata. Can you tell me this word fityatu? You know that this is plural of the word al-fata, but what kind of plural is this? Broken plural or sound plural? Jama salim or jama mukassar? Jama mukassar. You can see that very clearly, isn't it? Okay. Then you have the word tiwalu. This is the plural of tawilun, we said. But can you tell me what kind of plural is this? Jama salim or jama mukassar? Excellent. Jama mukassar. You can see that very clearly. Yes? Alhamdulillah. Hum tullabun jududun. So the question was, who are these young, tall young boys, O Ali? So Ali is responding, hum tullabun jududun. They are new students. They are new students. Let's look at the words first. Hum, this is domir munfasil. Yes, here it is domir munfasil. Next, if you look at the word tullabun, what kind of plural is this? Okay, let us just first write what is the singular form of tullabun. Tullabun, students. Okay, male students. So talibun is the singular of it. Talibun. Okay, one student. Tullabun is a plural of talibun. Now, what kind of plural is this? Is this jama salim or jama mukassar? Jama mukassar, yes. Jududun. Okay, jududun. The word jududun means new. Okay, and this is the plural of jadidun. Of jadidun. Okay. Also, I would like to bring to your notice one more point I want to bring to your notice is that sometimes the masculine and feminine words can have the same plural. Like, for example, Haza and Hazi shared the same type of plural. It can happen in other words also. For example, the word Jadidun, the singular word Jadidun here is Muzakkar, here it is Muzakkar, and here it is Muannas. Okay. Now, what is the plural of this word Muzakkar Jadidun? Jududun. Okay. And for Muannas Jadidatun, even for this you have Jududun. Okay. Sometimes the words will have the same plural. Okay. Jududun is the plural for both Jadidun and Jadidatun. Okay. While that is not the case with Talibun. For example, if I take the word Talibun, okay, let's take the word Talibun. Talibun is also ism sifa, right? Student, yes. So Talibun, I can make it feminine by adding ta marbuta, Talibatun. It is Talibatun, female student. Now, what is the plural of Talibun? How will you make it into plural? The plural of this, you have just seen that Talibun, the plural is Tullabun. Tullabun. And the plural of Talibatun is Talibatun. Okay. So here for the words Talibun and Talibatun, you have two different plurals. Okay. But when it comes to Jadidun, the word Jadidun, then for both masculine and feminine singular, you have the same plural, Jududun. Okay. This also happens sometimes. Okay. Keep that in mind. So hum tullabun jududun, they are new students. They are new students. So this is a jumla ismiya wherein you have hum is what? Mubtada. And where is my khabar? Tullabun. Tullabun is one word marfu khabar and it is also mausuf and jududun is what? The naat. It is the naat of tullabun, which is the manut. Okay. Tullabun is a manut and jududun is the naat of tullabun. Next, we have min ainahum. Where are they from? Okay. Where are they from? Hum min Amrika. Hum min Amrika. They are from America. So now you have hum here, which is coming as mubtada. And where is my khabar then? You have jar followed by mubtada. So jar, then what is Amrika? What is the position of Amrika? Ism majroor. You cannot see the kasra here on because alif is the last letter. Remember in last lesson we learned that the words that end with take this tip, the alif, okay, any word that ends with alif, okay, any word that ends with alif in Arabic, okay, its i'rab will be muqaddara. Its i'rab will be muqaddara. Muqaddara means what? Estimated. Okay. And the alif in Arabic can be written in two ways. It can be written like a ya without dots. Okay. If you see a ya without dots, it is alif. Alif, and it is called alif maksura. In fact, it is called alif maksura. Okay. Alif maksura is written like ya without dots, and it is also written like alif, a normal alif. Okay. So the words with end with an alif maksura at the end, how will you determine the i'rab of those words? Their i'rab will be muqaddara, will be estimated. And estimation is what? By their position, you will know what will be their i'rab. For example, Amrika, if you see here, this word is coming after min. Okay. So what will be the i'rab of Amrika? Surely it has to be majroor because it is coming after harf jar. Harf jar will turn this ism into, will give the ism after it a jar state. So this will be majroor bil kasratil muqaddara. Okay. Amrika is majroor bil kasratil muqaddara. Is this clear to all? Okay. The nouns which end with alif maksura, the alif maksura is written in the form of ya without dots or a straight alif, Whenever a noun is ending with alif maksura, you cannot see the i'rab, correct? So in that case, the nouns which end with alif maksura, the i'rab will be written with muqaddara. The i'rab will be muqaddara. It will be estimated. Now, when you come to the khabar of this sentence, whom you said this is mubtada, then after mubtada you have jar majroor. So I cannot see any mufrad khabar or jumla khabar. So where is my khabar? You will say khabar is mahzoof. And what about this jar majroor? This will be the muta'alliq of the khabar mahzoof. Let's move on. Hum zumala'uka. Are they your friends? Zumala'u. Okay, the word zumala'u is the plural of zamilun, isn't it? Zamilun. Zamilun is a friend or a colleague. So here we are asking, are they your friends? Ka here is what? Damir, isn't it? Zumalau is the plural of zamilun. So here you have two words, zumalau and kaf, the damir muttasil. What kind of murakkab is this? Murakkab is of your friends, correct? Are they your friends? Zumalau is the mudaf and ka is the mudaf ilayhi. Next, the answer is Naam. Yes. Hum zumalai. Hum fi fasli. Beautiful sentences coming up. Let's look at them. Yeah, Naam, yes, they are my friends and they are in my class. Okay. What's the analysis of the sentences? You have two jumla ismiyas as you can see here. So the first sentence, hum, mubtada, where's my khabar? This word, zumalai, correct? This is the khabar. Okay. This is the khabar and this is also mudaf. This is khabar and mudaf, and ya mutakallim is mudaf ilayhi, and this is mudaf ilayhi. And if I ask you what is the i'rab of this word zumalai, this word zumalai, what is the i'rab? Remember the words that are attached to ya mutakallim, okay? This word is attached to ya mutakallim, correct? The words that are attached to ya mutakallim, their i'rab is muqaddara, okay? So their i'rab is also muqaddara. So how will you are estimating? Can you see a dhamma here? Because this is a khabar will always be in rafa state. Can you see the dhamma here? It is actually hid. The dhamma is there, but we cannot see it because here you have a kasra just because of the demand of ya mutakallim. It demands a kasra before it. Okay, this word zumalai, it's not in jar state. Okay, because there's no harf jar or before it and it's not mudaf ilayhi. So this is in rafa state, but you cannot see it. So you will see, you will say that the isms, the nouns which are attached to ya mutakallim, don't show their i'rab, and their i'rab is shown, is written with muqaddara. Okay, their i'rab is written as muqaddara. So in this case, you will say zumala'u is marfu bid dhammatul muqaddara. Okay, marfu bid dhammatil muqaddara. And ya mutakallim is mudaf ilayhi. How will you say the i'rab of the dhamir? All the dhamair are mabni, remember? So all the dhamair are mabni, and the dhamir muttasil is what? Here, dhamir muttasil is coming for jar state. So you'll say mabniun ala sukun fi mahalli jarrin. For mabni isms, remember there are two parts you have to say. First, you will say it is mabni, it is fixed upon whatever the haraka, the last letter's haraka is, and then you will say fi mahalli. Okay, there are two parts. Remember, we learned it, we discussed this in detail. Whom, okay, this sentence is over. They are my classmates. Whom fi fasli. This is exactly like the previous sentence. But the khabar is mahzoof. Whom is mubtada, fi is harfjar, fasli, mudaf and mudaf ilayhi. But in this case, what is the i'rab of fasl? This word fasl. Can I ask you what's the i'rab of this? Majroor bil kasratil muqaddara. Because remember, this kasra is always there. Like for the ya, whenever you attach a word with ya mutakallim, if you have to write this word firstly in rafa state, it will be firstly. In rafa state also it will be firstly. In nasab state also it will be firstly, in jar state also it will be firstly. Okay, why? Because when you attach the ya mutakallim to any word, then the ya mutakallim's demand has to be fulfilled, isn't it? Only if you give a kasra before it, it will come. So this kasra is there in all the three states. It is not there just because it is in jar state. Okay, because it is jar state. Already it has been there. So because it has already been there, now you're not giving a kasra. So you will say it is estimated. Fasl, the i'rab of this will be majroor bil kasratil muqaddara. And ya mutakallim mudaf ilayhi. How will you say the i'rab? Mabniun ala sukun fi mahalli jarrin. Okay, because this is mudaf ilayhi. Ahum mujtahiduna. Are they hardworking? Mujtahidun means hardworking. Are they hardworking? Okay, naam. Yes. Hum mujtahiduna. Yes, they are hardworking. Just as you all. Yes. MashaAllah. Barakallah fiqh. All of you are so hardworking. MashaAllah. May Allah put barakah in your time and efforts. So naam. Yes. Hum. They are. Mujtahiduna. Hardworking. Hum is mubtada. Mujtahiduna. One word marfu khabar. Okay, they are hardworking. All right, so what is this word mujtahiduna? Is this wahid, tasniya or jama? Mujtahiduna. Una at the end. What does it show? That this is a jama, and that too this is jama muzakkar salim. So what is the singular of this word? What is the singular of this word mujtahiduna? If you remove the una, mujtahidun. Yes, mujtahidun is the singular. And when you added una to this, okay, and added una to this before wow, you'll get one dhamma. So it'll be mujtahiduna. Okay, right. Now you understood. Whom is mubta, mujtahiduna is one word marfu khabar. Ma asma'uhum. What are their names? Asma'uhum. Again, you have two nouns here. Asma'u is the first noun, hum second. What type of murakkab is this? Murakkab idafi. So asma'u. What is the plural? Sorry, this is the plural of ismun. Asma'u is the plural of ism, name. Ism means name. So asma'u is the plural of ism. So what type of plural is this? Is it jama mukassar or jama salim? Jama mukassar. Now can you see how easy it is? You know, with more examples, you understand the different types of plurals. Yes, it's very easy. It's a very easy topic. Right. Asma'uhum. Now the answer is Asma'uhum. Their names are Yasir, wa Zakaria, wa Musa, wa Abdullah. Their names are Yasir and Zakaria and Musa and Abdullah. Okay. So this is Jumla Ismiya. Let's start the analysis. Asma'u mubtada and mudaf. Hum mudaf ilayhi. Yasirun is the khabar. Okay. It is the khabar. And after that you have a conjunction. Okay. Wow is an ataf, is a conjunction. And the words after it, okay, whenever you have a conjunction, the word before it will be called matuf alayhi, and Zakaria is the matuf. Okay, we'll discuss more about this in other classes. But remember that whenever conjunctions come, they come to join two words, two sentences, or two phrases. Okay, and the word which comes after the conjunction will follow the word before it. وَمَنْ هَؤُلَاءِ الرِّجَالُ الْقِصَارُ. And who are these? هؤلاء, remember the plural which we learned today, ismul ishara lil qarib, and this is the plural for haza. Yes, here for haza and hazi you have the same plural, but here this haula is for muzakkar. How do we know that? Because ar-rijal, it is pointing towards a masculine noun. Muzakkar, rijal are men. Rijal is the plural of rajulun. Okay, rajulun. Okay, the plural of rajulun is rijalun. Qisaru. Qisaru is the plural of qasirun. Qasirun means short. Okay, qasirun, short. Okay, rajulun is what? Men. The plural of rajulun, rajulun, man. Okay, rajulun, a man. Rijalun is men. Okay. Qisaru is the plural of qasirun, which is short. Who are these short men? Then the answer is hum hujjajun. They are the pilgrims. Hujjaj. Okay. They are the pilgrims. Hum is the mubtada. Hujjaj is the khabar. One word khabar. Min aina hum. And from where are they? The answer is ba'duhum min as-Sini wa ba'duhum min al-Yabani. Some of them. This word ba'du is new to you. Okay, this noun is new to you. You have not learned this in Madinah book. This is the first time you're learning. So ba'du is a noun, is an ism, okay, which always comes as mudaf. Okay, ba'du is an ba'du with the dad. We are talking about ba'du is an ism which comes as mudaf, which always comes as mudaf. So that's why you can see here some of them, and the meaning of ba'du is what? Some. Ba'duhum, some of them. So ba'du is mudaf and hum is mudaf ilayhi. Some of them are from China. Aswini is from China. Ba'duhum, and some of them are from Minal Yabani, are from Japan. Let's do the analysis. Ba'du is mubtada and mudaf. Hum is mudaf ilayhi. So where is my khabar? Because after the mubtada you have jar majrur, which means the khabar is mahzoof and jar majrur is muta'alliq of the khabar. Waw is attaf, which is coming to join two sentences here. Okay, so this sentence is following the first sentence in its ruling and its i'rab. Ba'duhum, ba'du is the mubtada and mudaf, hum is mudaf ilayhi, minal yabani is the muta'alliq of the khabar mahzoof. That's very easy for you all. أين المصطفى وأصدقاؤه? Where is Mustafa and his friends? Okay, أصدقاء. This word أصدقاء is the plural of صديق. صديق is what? Friend. صديق. Okay, صديق is friend. The plural of صديق is أصدقاء. So where is Mustafa and his friends? The answer is Zahabu ilal mat'ami. They have gone to the restaurant. Mat'am is what? Restaurant. Okay, restaurant. They have gone to the restaurant. Zahabu. The verb zahabu is coming here. Last time we saw zahabat, zahaba, zahabu. All those things we saw. In this lesson, we are seeing zahabu. So zal, ha, and ba. This is the root word. Actually, zahabu is what? Fail madhi. You know your fail madhi, right? If you just follow what you have learned in the fail madhi, zahabu, it means they went. How do you know they went? Who's the doer here? The waw. The waw is showing us that this is they went. Waw is the file, the doer. Zahaba is the fail. Dal, ha, ba is the root word. Waw is the file. And what is this alif doing here? What is this alif doing here? This is called the alif of protection. Aliful wiqaya, alif of protection. So this is the end of your conversation of your lesson 3. Now let's look at the exercises. The first exercise is very easy. You just have to change the subject in the following sentences and turn it into plural. Look at the example first. Then you will be able to understand. Misal, example, haza talibun. This is a student. So what is a subject here? What is a subject? What they mean by subject is a mubtada. You have to change the mubtada. Okay. So haza is the subject. The mubtada, you have to change it into plural. What is the plural of haza? Haulai. Okay. So once you change the mubtada into plural, remember the rule of mubtada and khabar that they have to match in other than jins. Yes, they have to match in other than jins. What are the other rules of mubtada and khabar? Mubtada is always rafa and it is mostly marifa. Khabar is always rafa and it is mostly nakira. And the one rule that you have to remember, a very important rule about mubtada and khabar, is that they have to match in adad and jins. So if the adad is changed, here the mubtada was singular, haza is wahid. And if the mubtada is changed into plural, then the khabar also has to change into plural. Okay, so then talibun, the one word khabar, will be changed into tullab. Haza talibun, this is a student. Haulai tullabun, these are students. So they have given you the plural word also. You just need to change the subject into plural, which you know already. For all these sentences, everywhere you have haza here. So it's very simple. Let's do it quickly. Haza tajirun. What will you write here? Haulai tujjarun. The plural is given tajirun. The plural of tajirun is tujjarun. Haulai tujjarun. Okay. Haulai tujjarun. Okay. Next, similarly, you have haulai hajjun is one pilgrim. The plural of hajjun is hujjajun. So this lesson, the only thing you have to remember is the vocabulary. The vocabulary is very important. You need to memorize the vocabulary, a lot of vocabulary in this lesson, which will help you a lot. Okay, it's very interesting also, isn't it? When you get to learn new words, your language automatically improves. Okay, you're right. So haza rajulun, this is a man. How will you change it into plural? Haulai rijalun. Haza kabirun, this is big. Okay, so how will you say? These are big. Haulai kibarun. Haza saghirun. This is small. Saghirun, small. The plural of saghirun is sigharun. How will you change this sentence? This is small into plural. These are small. Haulai sigharun. Next you have haza qasirun. Plural. Qasir means short. This is short. Qisarun. The plural of qasirun is qisarun. Haulai qisarun. Haza tawilun. Haulai tiwalun. Tawil means tall. Okay. This is tall. These are tall. Okay. Haulai tiwalun. Haza waladun. The plural of waladun is awladun. See, they have given you everything. You just need to write the sentence in plural. Haulai awladun. Hada binun. This is a boy. So you will change it into plural. Haulai abnaun. Okay. Haza ammun. This is uncle. What is the plural of ammun? Amamun. Haulai amamun. These are uncles. Haza shaykhun. This is a sheikh. Okay, sheikh means an old man. Okay, who's older in age. So the plural is haulai shuyuqun. Haulai shuyuqun. Haza doifun. Doifun. Doifun means weak. Sorry, that is doifun. My mistake. So haza doifun is guest, not the. Okay. Actually, weak will be doifun. Okay, that's why I got confused. Sorry, doifun. This is weak. Okay, doifun. Doifun. Okay, guest. This is haza doifun means guest. How will you say these are guests? Haulai duyufun. Haulai duyufun. Haza zamilun. This is colleague. This is this is a friend, or this is a colleague. You will say haulai zumala'u. This is a friend. These are friends or colleagues. So these are the words which you will have to complete these remaining sentences. I hope you will be able to do it. It's very easy. Okay, and the homework for your grouping. Okay, the first exercise is very easy, which you can complete it on your own. Okay, and memorize the words given there, the vocabulary. The exercise for your grouping, okay, for your group will be this exercise. Iqra waktub. Okay, so this exercise, please go through in your grouping. The full exercise, you have 16 sentences here, so you will go through this in your grouping. So what will you do in your grouping? Read it in Arabic. For example, let's do the first two. At-tullabu fil fasli. The students are in the classroom. You will read in Arabic and then translate it in English. Okay. And look at the plural, what type of plural it is. Okay. What type of plural word is it? And what is the singular of that word? Man ha'ula'il awladu. Who are these boys? Hum abnauka. Are they your children? La, no, hum abna'u akhi. They are the sons of my brother. Okay. So read in Arabic, translate it in English, and look at the words and try to recognize their wahid, their singular. Okay. And also, if they are plural, what type of plural they are. Okay. It would be a good exercise for you to practice the words in terms of whether they are wahid or jama. Okay. And if they are jama, then try to recognize, is it Jama Salim or Jama Mukassar. And if it is Jama Salim, you should know it is Jama, then you should know whether it is Jama Muzakkar Salim or Jama Muannas Salim. Okay. Inshallah, we'll end the class here. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.